Hello everybody, JT's Reviews here, and today we're going to be reviewing the Gillette Platinum razor blades. This is a 100 pack that you can get on Amazon and all sorts of places, and you can tell this was meant to be in a shop by the way the card is shown right there. It looks pretty cool actually, yeah, that's what the packaging looks like when you get the 100 pack. When you get the carton out, or the little packaging out, you get this little packaging here, and they're basically like those travel ones you used to get, where you got them like in this their own little sleeve thing there, and they had separate blades in it. Anyway, you get 5 in each pack, and it doesn't say any gimmick rubbish on it, I don't think, no, but it is made in Russia. Most blades nowadays that are double edged are made in Russia or China. Not much else to say. It has the old Gillette logos and such that you would need, and yeah, as I said, it's basically one of those travel sleeve things. Not the greatest thing for the environment to get rid of, because they normally put a little slot or something in most of them, but hey ho, that's how it works. But when you unwrap one of the blades, you get the blade itself, and it says Gillette on it, Platinum, but it doesn't say nothing on the back, so it's not 100% posh with both sides of writing. But this camera doesn't show it much justice, but it's actually a nice looking blade out of the pack. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be having a shave with this thing, this blade, and I will give you my verdict in 1 month's time after the shave, obviously, because I'll be using this for a month, and I'll be using it basically in my Wilks's sword right there, and just like magic we have the blade in there already to go anyway. I will be also using the Arco Men shaving cream stuff, because the other stuff's packed away and I can't be bothered to get it back out. But yeah, we won't be using Wilks's sword, we'll be using this stuff. So without further ado, let's have a shave with this thing. Okay, let's have a shave with the brand new Gillette blade that I've put in here. So without further ado, let's have a shave. So as I said, I'm going to use the Arco stuff. So let's quickly get a yucking of that in the bowl right there, just to prove that I'm doing it. Any proof really. Okay, let's wet the face. Now we're in the middle of a windstorm, up to 100 miles an hour in the UK. So if the power goes out, I do apologise, but it's like, can't be stopped basically. Although it might be over exaggerated as usual, like they do in the news media all the time, you know. Right. But the great thing is, now we've got the hot water, I don't think we need any more power anyway, so hopefully. But if you hear any wind noises, that's what's happening basically. We're in the middle of a windstorm again. Always happens every year, you know. I have high hopes for this Gillette razor blade, to be honest. Okay, let's have a shave with the Gillette razor blade. Let's do it. Pretty sharp start. extremely sharp. Should be, it's a brand new blade. As I said, I'll give a month to my verdict. But so far, so good. Time to do the second pass. Cut myself a little bit with the razor again. Well, that's my own stupid fault. Okay, time for the second pass with the Gillette blade. Okay, that'll do. Okay, so how did I get on with the Gillette Platinum Premium Blade? It didn't clog up or anything and seems alright, the blade. But let's do a field test and see what it did. Going down some areas kind of missed actually, that's kind of interesting. But it seems smooth on the other side, so it might be a shaving skill issue. Sideways, never gets that right. Yeah, I think it did an okay job. Seems kind of smooth down. Yeah, I probably could have done better with the razor, but to be honest, you know, a bit distracted today with certain things. Anyway, so I would say this blade would be about an 8 out of 10 still. Could be some improvements. Maybe it's not sharp enough, I don't know. Or it's too sharp and that's why I get cuts, I'm not sure. But it's a nice blade so far, and well, I'll probably need some more time with this obviously, so that's why I give these about a month, these ones, because double edges are a different territory when it comes to razors. But that's what I'll do. Give me about a month and I'll come back to you and tell you how I got on. So, how did I get on with the Gillette blade right there? I have to say, that is probably the worst blade I've worked with. On the first shave, I had all these weird bumps and it felt like it was cutting me to shreds. And I've noticed this about most Gillette blades nowadays. They all do the same thing where they leave bumps everywhere. And it just makes me laugh that they call it the best a man can get, when it's actually probably the second to worst one you can get, apart from the Tesco blade or whatever it was I did that day. At least that didn't cut me. But this thing, no matter how many times I try and get used to it, I couldn't get used to it. And I tried to try another blade because I thought maybe the first blade was faulty in the double edge. It did the same thing. So it's safe to say there's something weird in the coating, or something's wrong with it, because it leaves bumps and all sorts. Either that, or the blades are not made too well, because they just, I don't know. Can you tell if there's any problems with these blades? I don't know. Maybe I got a bad batch, I don't know. But the Gillette Platinum is not that great. And I even tried a good old Wilkinson Sword mid blade in there as well, to see if it was because of the shaving cream, Arco, and it was not that, it was fine. So I don't know, there's probably something weird in their blades, because I had quite a rough experience with it. I couldn't wait to travel to my mates and use basically the Supermax blades. And you know it's bad when a Supermax blade, which is well cheaper than this one, seems to outperform it in the way, and it doesn't leave me with cuts as much. Over time, I noticed the blade was starting to get a little bit worn out, to a point where it was like, most of the time it didn't feel like I was shaving anything. So in my opinion, Gillette Premium or Platinum, whatever the friggin' hell this thing's called, great looking blades, great box, you know, great box design, yada yada yada, but at the end of it, not a great blade in my opinion. I would rate that possibly a 5 out of 10, considering it does cut hairs on your face, but after a while it does lose its performance very quickly. In fact, the quickest to lose its performance. Supermax blades don't do that. Even the Sainsbury's blades didn't do that, but this one did, and in my opinion, I don't think I want to get these blades ever again. And as I said, I did try a second blade in the pack to see, maybe I had a bad blade or something, and I switched them around and it did the same thing. So it doesn't matter about that theory. And when I put the Wilkinson Sword in, it was fine. So I don't know, is it the coating you know, that Gillette now put on these blades? I don't think it's because it was made in Russia or nothing. And I noticed as well, it traps the hair so easily. Look at that. I mean, this is a very good double edge, and it doesn't like trap anything, but this one seems to do that quite often. So maybe there's something really wrong with these blades, or the blade batch maybe. But in my opinion, a 5 out of 10. I had a bad experience with it, and I would say that was probably the worst double edge so far, double edge blade so far. Even the mid Wilkinson Sword beats it, and that's bad news when that happens. So yeah, that's my review of that. I'm sorry if I offend anyone in the comments for this blade, but I've had a bad experience with it. What can I say? You do get bad experiences with certain things. Yeah, so 5 out of 10, not the greatest blade. I wouldn't recommend them. I'll probably be reviewing in the new year some Derby blades and American blades and all that, so we'll be testing them out for a whole month and all that sort of thing. But the Gillette, disappointing in my opinion. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.